Hello all, welcome to the second session of three totally free demo session for our data analytics in Python course. The second session which today we are going to discuss is about environment setup. So before starting the training program, once you get attached to us using the self-learning instructor mode or through the online classes or through the classroom, this will be a second part in general we take so that your computer, your laptop should be ready with our coding of Python so that we will do some installation on your machine, and if it was fine on the separate thing, once the installation is done, we will proceed with the actual training. So let us see what are the things we are going to learn in this program. So let's start. So before jumping into what we are going to install, let's have some few things which we already discussed in our part 1 lecture, where we have an introduction of data analytics with Python. There we said that Python is clear and powerful object oriented programming language. So even if it is an object oriented programming language, it can be used for both the purposes, as a procedural one or as the object oriented. So both the way we can utilize it easily. So that is the first thing. Second thing, once you install the Python on your machine, it comes with one default IDE, that is stands for integrated development environment, and that is called IDLE, which will be used in general practice to write the Python program. But do remember, we are not going to train you on this IDL because it is very basic version. We will go for the Jupyter notebook, that is the higher version. The third thing is variety of data types are available, which also we have said, like the numbers and strings. Along with that, other data types like list, dictionaries, tuple, all things are available, which will go into our fifth and sixth session as per the syllabus, which we have discussed in the first lecture. So that is just the thing. And next thing, while setting up your environment, let us see why Python name came into existence, just for a introduction. So it is basically Monty Python Flying Circus. That was a BBC show which was very popular at that time. And as we said last time, the person who is the creator of this Python language, he was very fond of this, and that's why he made the name Python. So no reptiles or nothing is related to our course. It is just the Python. But yes, we have something anaconda, spider coming into the picture once we have the Python. So do have some reptiles, but in the coding sense. So that will be there. So let us jump on to the first line, installation of Python. So to install the Python, we have to visit a website www.python.org. Since we know in the beginning that Python is totally open source, so it is just you have to download and install it. So if you have already a Linux machine, the Python comes by default. It will be 2.7 or 2.6. If it is 2.7, you have to upgrade it. If you are on Mac or Windows machine, you have to download the file and install. So to download, multiple files extensions are available. So before downloading a file, we need to know what kind of operating system is installed on our machine. So that is the same thing I have written in the next slide. If it is 32-bit or 62-bit, accordingly we have to download the file. So to download that file, we need to check our machine's operating system. And I will say if it is 32-bit, I will recommend to change it to 64. Let's have the upgrade, because in the future, like the MongoDB and all that stuff, don't provide any support for 32-bit operating systems. So it is better to move on to the 64. But if it is already 64, that is well and good. And if it is not possible to go with the 64, still for our course, 32-bit operating system is also fine. So how to check that? So for that, specifically for Windows, you have to go to control panel. So I have also done that. So you go to the control panel. Inside the control panel, you go to the system and security, and inside that system, you can follow this path: control panel, system and security, system. Inside that, you go down to find out the installation memory, all thing, and system type, that is of main concern to us. So in system type, for me it is 64-bit operating system, and that is well and good. For you, what is that? You have to check it. And if it is 32-bit, it is a bit concern for future use, not for our course. But if it is possible to get upgrade to 64-bit, it is well and good. Once you have to check this what 64 or 32, we will jump onto the website www.python.org. So I have already opened the site, so let me go ahead to here. So this is the Python site, which consists of lot of things you can explore on your own. For our case, we have to go to the download section, and in download specifically for Windows. So if I click on Windows, I reach to the Windows point. In Windows, both the releases are available. Let us go with the third release, that is the current release is 3.8.3, and it is still working on because it is in beta. You can directly go to 3.3 release or the previous releases also. Okay, so like if I go back in the Windows, other releases, other stable releases are also available. So basically the path you can directly write also python.org downloads Windows. So you can go in this direction, and now if you go ahead, you will find multiple files here. So what is the file which will be for our case we have to use? So the basic thing is whichever file has something 8664 are for 32-bit machines, whereas whichever the file are only 86 are for 64-bit operating system file. So for my case, I have to concentrate here. If you have 32-bit operating system, as I have shown in the system, you have to go with this. So that depends on your operating system. Now once I go in, there are again three types. First one is embedded zip file, which you can download, and once you download, you have to make the adjustment of path variable and all that stuff. So I will say I will not recommend this because it has a lot of uh, dependency you have to set. Okay, so later there is a executable and there is a web page. Any one of them you can go ahead, you can download it, and both of them works fine. Web base will provide a stub, maybe a 10 MB, and then once the installation start, it will bring some stuff from the internet, whereas executable is a complete compiler which comes with you. Once you install, all the things will automatically get installed. While installing, once you start, I already have the installation, but I will not install it, but you can install it. Once you have the installation, it will ask you a certain question. So do remember to click one point, like when it pop ups, it will have the permission to run as administration. You said yes. And on the top of that, when I was installing 3.6, it comes with this. So in that, there is one box which will be empty for adding a Python path. So what that means, path is the Windows variable where each programming executables dictionaries or the location of the dictionaries are stored. So you have to make sure that is clicked. So you make sure you click on this, add Python 3.6, 3.8, 3.7, whatever you are installed, and then sorry, then click on install now, and that will start installing your Python, which is 3.8 or 3.7. While doing that, there may be a pop-up of error saying Windows Service Pack 1 is not updated. So if that is the case and you are using Windows 7, you have to connect with some good internet source, most of the time Wi-Fi, and do update your Windows pack. If you are not able to do that, you have to go to Windows Update, or you visit the vendor, he or the person or the owner, he will update that, because without that the Python will not allow to install. Once you install the Python, certain things come up into the picture. What are they? Let us see one by one. So once you go into the Python, for me multiple things are already there, but for our case, let's see what is inside the Python. So for me 3.8 is installed. In 3.8, it comes with three things. One is the documentation, that is the related stuff useful for your understanding of Python. IDE, that is IDL, which is used for the writing program. And Python 3.8, that is just the interactive shell. Out of that, let's see what IDL is. So I will just click on that. So it will open an IDL window, that is an IDE, that is integrated developed environment. So triple greater than sign is the identification of Python command prompt. So you are on Python command prompt. Now on this command prompt, I will just show you what are the things available. Like in the beginning also we have said the command prompt is interactive. What do you mean by interactive? You just type it, you get the answer. Like if I write something 2 plus 3 and press enter, I get the 5 answer. I don't have to write a program for that which will do different stuffs and then give me the answer. Second thing, the Python is dynamically typed. What you mean by that? If I say I is equal to 2 and press enter, I is the variable which got the 2 as the value immediately. I don't have to declare it as integer or something. And if I just see what is the type of I, that is the function to print what is the data type of I, it gives class integer. What that means, each data type in Python is declared as a class, and once you create an variable just like here I, an object I is created. So that is the correlation between class and object inside the Python. The second thing we said, it is dynamically typed. That means in the same session which we are working on, if I write I is equal to, say my name Anup, and presenter, it works. That means the same I which was integer object now got changed to string object, because string is the data type. No character data type in Python, it is directly string. You can have string of single character or multiple character. So here if I go with again type of I which we have and press enter, it gives class str. So that means a same data type can jump on to any not the same data type, and same variable can jump on to multiple data type, and that is the way the ideal works. Mainly in ideal I can write the program also. Just for the information, I can go to file and create a new file. So this is a new file, and in general whenever you write a code, the common code you write is hello world, and in the beginning also I have explained how simple it is. So if I write just print in bracket hello world bracket complete, and just I have made the double quote here. So both the double quotes and single quote works with the Python. I have made a simple statement print hello world, and I am pressing Ctrl S, or you can go into the file and save. Both the options are available to save your file. So once I click on save, it asks to save my files, which will be saved as .py file. So for my case, let's I have some name first. So I already have one file, so I am just overwriting. For your case you will have a new file. So I will save it and I will say yes. So file got saved. Now I can run this program by just pressing F5, else I can go to run and run module. So I am running my first file and the output hello world is printed. Done. I have started my Python programming with such a easiness that I can print the hello world. I don't have to remember what is main clause and what is block structures and all things. This is the simplicity of Python, and that's why we have added Python in our course to learn about the data analytics. In actual, the training will not be a part of this idea. We will going on to the something else, that is Jupyter notebook. So how to install that? So let me close this. You can close it without saving also, no problem. And let me go back. So once the installation of Python completes on your machine, you jump onto, you will get the message successfully installed, and then only you see that stuff which was I shown, ideal and documentation. So once you complete that, we have to go for the Anaconda installation. So Anaconda installation, again it is an open source and it is like an wrapper around your code. So once you install Anaconda, it comes with multiple packages and it is nearly 500 to 400 MB. So it gets quite of time and your I can say internet capacity also. So once you install that, we get the wrapper with all the packages like NumPy, Pandas, which we will use in actual data analysis training. So all this will be required, so we don't need to install them separately every time. All things will be ready made, and that is the way Anaconda will be useful. So for Anaconda, the website is anaconda.com. So let me go back, and this is the website. Again, website features changes, so you may find out some new things also, but currently this is the one. In that, if you go to the products, you have to go for the individual edition, which is free, open source. Others have some packages you have to pay. So if you go in individual edition, I will go there and there are a lot of things. So I will directly go to the download section. So now again, as per your machine, if it is Windows operating system, Mac OS or Linux, and If it is 64-bit or 32-bit, multiple options are available. Like for my machine, I will go for 64-bit graphical installation, which is 466 MB. As per your requirement, you have to go with that. The second important thing is once you download this, before installation start, make sure to have your, if you have any antivirus in your machine, make sure it is off, because while installing it may come up with some messages which antivirus will not allow to install. So to stop that, you close all the antivirus thing available in your machine, install this Anaconda, and then you can open it again. Then there will not be a problem. But while installation, you should do that. Second thing, while installation of Anaconda starts, multiple files get executed, multiple things will get installed. So just wait, have a patience. So once all the installation of Anaconda is done, we are set up with our environment for our course, the data analytics with Python. So what things comes when you install the Anaconda? Let me see on this machine. So if I go back to our machine, so let's see where it is. It is the Anaconda here. So Anaconda again comes with multiple things, like Anaconda has its own prompt called the Conda prompt. Then it comes with the most useful thing, Jupyter Notebook, on which we are going to train all our structures, all our things. Okay, so the all whole training is going to happen on this Jupyter Notebook, and that's why we are going to install the Anaconda for the packages and this one. Along with that, it comes one other ones like Spider is also there. That is also very good IDE used for other purpose. Okay, so let's see what are the things we require. And it comes with the navigator also, where are other differences, other different packages also we can install through that. But we will not go in detail of that. We will focus on what we require, and the requirement is Jupyter Notebook. So let me click on that. So basically, Jupyter Notebook opens a screen on your browser itself. So you will see it has opened something on my browser, and that is the Jupyter Notebook. It runs some server backend at your local host, and which also is available. You can see here it is running here. You never close that, let it be. And then the program you will write here. Okay, you can search notebook directly, no need to go to Anaconda again and again. Here you just write something like notebook, and Jupyter Notebook appears, which you can click and go. So that is also available. Now how to work with this Jupyter, that is the main thing. So if I open the Jupyter, in this multiple options are available. Out of that, the options which we are going to use, I will tell. The first thing is, all this has the, again I have my own structure, so that's why you are looking at multiple things. For you, some simple structure will be available. So you have to go to new and click on Python 3. Again, since I have installed some other stuff, I have multiple kernels available. So that also shows Jupyter can be worked with any other language also. It is not specifically for Python. Any compiler of Java, C, C++ you add, and you can work on that. That is also a very good thing about the Jupyter. Now for our case, we will see only Python 3 for the first time installation, not other stuff. So we will click on Python 3 and it will open a new file, and that is the new file where we are going to see a different training programs of phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. So how to run the code here? The single thing you can see here is called the sale of the Jupyter, and as we have done previously, if I do 2 plus 3, if I click run, the code runs and I get the output. The good thing about this Jupyter is output and the code both are preserved. So in the future, if you want to just ready refer for some interview or something, this Jupyter comes very handy, because we have the input and we have the output both. Otherwise what happens, you will have multiple codes, you have to run it, you have to open everything and then come up with, okay, that is the thing. Instead of that Jupyter, all things will be together. So as an example, we have done one more thing, like we have said I is equal to say 2, and then we have done print of I comma type of 2. So both the things I will run together, and if I run it, I get the I as 2 and its type is class integer. So that thing I am preserving. The second thing, I can write multiple cell, I can run any cell at any point. So like here, if I make any changes, I can run this cell and I have a new output. So there is no constraint that you should go one by one below another. You can run anything at any point. The second thing, you have to give a proper naming convention, which I will also told in the next third session, which we will have as an operators and control structure. So you should give proper names to them as one underscore one underscore. Suppose I give operators in Python. So that is the name I am giving and I am renaming. So proper naming will come to my Jupyter file. Second thing, this Jupyter file is saved as .ipynb file. You can see here that is the extension. Why that is the extension? Because it is a separate format, not specifically Python. It is a mixture of Python with Jupyter. That's why that extension. The third thing here is, even if I can write the code, I can create the headings also, which also gives a very elaborative example how I can do that. Just like I will say hash hash and I will say operators as my heading. Now to run that, instead of code, I will use markdown and then I will run it, and I have first heading operators. So that is also a very good thing in Jupyter. You have a proper format to check. The second thing, you can just add with more font. So as you increase the hash, font decreases. So here it may be have say arithmetic operations, and again if I change it to markdown, I can run it and I have a subheading, and then again I can have my own code, say 2 plus 6, and I can run it. So you can see step by step I will develop my Jupyter files for the understanding of my whole course, and it will be better all of you write here code so that you will have a very good ready-made understanding of what the course we are going with step by step fashion. The second good thing about here is you can save this file with multiple options. So if I go into the file and go as a download, you will see multiple options available, which consist of HTML, .py file, PDF, even you can save them as an other latex format. So if I save it as an HTML, I can collect all the file and I can put it into my mobile. So if I am sitting for an interview, I can just open my mobile, see your HTML, because all the HTML content, input, output both, and I am ready with my interview. So that is also a very good thing provided by the Jupyter. And as I said, here automatic saving happens. You don't have to click on the save button always. It automatically checkpoints. Okay. And the second thing, if I close this file, do remember one underscore oped, that is the name we have given. If I close this and go back, and if I open the file again, like the name which I have given, it was this one. So whatever I have written is still there. Okay, so that is the way I am preserving the input and output both, and that is the best thing. And that's why I will say I will prefer Jupyter Notebook for whole of the training purpose. And that's why we have to do the installation of Jupyter on our machine. So that was the part for this session, where we have set up our environment by installing Python first from python.org, and then Anaconda from anaconda.com. Both of the things are necessary, take some time, you should be patient. For that you need to check your system, which should be 64-bit operating system machine. If it is not, I will suggest to upgrade that. Once your environment is set, you are ready to go to the third section, where we will start with the basic of operators and control structure. So this was the second part of three part of free demo sessions for our course, which is the data analytics with Python. I will suggest to you go with all three courses, all the three subjects which we will talk about, and do have the course as a complete through the online, through the classroom, or through the self-access method. Any method you can join in. The numbers are there. The website is there, www.pythonacademy.in. So do join in and be ready for the future data analyst jobs. Thank you for watching this. We will meet again for the next section. Up till now, bye.